Well, hello and welcome back, everyone, to the show. So glad to see you again. And I have some exciting information to share with you about August. And let me tell you, Scorpio, this month is going to end really nicely for you. And I'm excited to share what I see in your chart today. So, welcome back. I am your astrology coach, and this is the horoscope for my Scorpio friends. If you're a Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, or Scorpio moon, as always, I always encourage you to bring your natal chart to every sit down with me if you can. It will just help you better understand your chart because the transits I'm going to show you today and the planetary positions will impact any natal planets that you may have in your chart. You've never cast your natal chart? So if you haven't, I do have a free video showing you how to cast your natal chart so you can see where all of your natal planets are. And your natal chart will correspond with your rising sign. So your rising sign really is the character that you play in the world, what other people see you as. Your sun sign, many people relate to after the age of 40. And that is basically your ego and your persona. And your moon sign is your inner thoughts, your inner hopes and wishes. So if you are a Scorpio moon, you may be feeling these things inside, but you don't necessarily show them externally. So you can have your natal chart. I also encourage you, it's great to listen to me in the car because I do my best to explain everything to you. And you can save and bookmark this and come back throughout the month of August and say, hey, wow, this new moon in Leo was really cool for me. And this is what happened. I love to hear your stories and how what I share with you resonates with you. So please leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you to all of the people who have already subscribed. Our family is growing. And if you have a Scorpio that you know and love, please feel free to share this video with him or her. So let's talk a little bit about Scorpio. You are the water sign. Did you know you are ruled by Pluto and Mars? And Scorpio, I have to say, and this is based on Robert Hand, one of my favorite astrologers and one of the people that I've learned from. I've learned astrology through reading his books, but he says that Scorpio is one of the misunderstood signs. And I would believe that. A lot of people hear the sign of Scorpio and, they think of that scorpion that's going to stab you in the back. So Scorpios, you tend to get a bad rap, but you can actually be positive. And one of the things I've noticed about Scorpios is that you are transformative and sometimes a little mystical, and you live intensely and can sometimes be dramatic. My mother is a Scorpio, and yes, she can be dramatic. It's like, oh my gosh, we all know those Scorpios, right? You love emotions, you love mystery. You're not all like that. Like I said, it's going to have to do with where your natal placements are. But for right now, um, I'm going to share with you all of the things that are happening in August. So on the 6th, we have Venus entering Libra. We have on the 9th, Mercury enters Leo. On the 11th, Mars enters the sign of Cancer. Wow, I'm recording this in the evening after a full day of work on a Thursday, and clearly my mouth is not working. So I will do better for you, Scorpios. On the 12th, you have a new moon in Leo coinciding with a solar eclipse, some pretty great energy. On the 15th, Mercury is conjunct Jupiter. On the 19th, we have the mean nodes entering a new sign, so big shift there. On the 23rd, the sun enters Virgo, and on the 25th, Mercury enters Virgo, and on the 27th, we have this beautiful Mercury cazimi in the sign of Mercury. And that is just followed up, closing out August with a lunar eclipse and a full moon in Pisces. And let me tell you, you are going to want to wait for the end because this is going to be one of the best full moons ever. That's what I think for you, Scorpio. You let me know what you think when we're done. So, all right, grab your natal chart, get a drink. This will take about 30 minutes, and let's hang together and get down to it. So, Scorpios, all of the things I'm going to show you, this is a general collective astrology. It's not going to pertain to every single Scorpio, but what I'm sharing with you is the energy throughout August, and you can use it to your advantage. As I said before, if you have a natal planet that is impacted by any of these transits, it may give you a different effect. Feel free to drop that down in the comments, and maybe I can help you work through it. I love the comments. Leave me some comments, please. I don't know what I have to do to get a comment. Just say hello or something. I want to get to know you. All right. So right now, this is your chart, and we have Pluto in your fourth house, and it is retrograde in August. So what's going on in the home right now, Scorpios? Looks to me like some inner workings or some transformations, possibly with how you relate to family. That's my question for you. And we're going to circle back because you're going to have some more things happening in your fourth house. But your first transit right here is going to happen on the 7th. And we have Venus entering Libra in the 12th house. This is kind of cool. The 12th house, I am just so intrigued by the 12th house. So first things first, Venus rules the sign of Libra. So Venus is very much at home in Libra, but your 12th house is like the inner workings, the underworld, the behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to give you Scorpios a simple ritual for this Venus transit that I think will benefit you throughout Venus's travel. So what I want you to do, clean a bedroom closet or clean something in your house. And I want you to get rid of the ugly, broken plastic hangers, clothes that haven't fit you. I want you to vacuum it, organize it, make it beautiful. That's what Venus wants. Venus loves beauty. And if you're not into clothes, find another part of the house. Maybe the laundry room or the garage needs to be organized. I know it doesn't sound fun, but trust me, you will feel better if you just do this. So make your house so it looks nice for when visitors come, because, my friends, the state of your closet is a good barometer for how well you treat yourself when no one is looking. So how does your closet look? I don't know about you. Mine is a disaster, and I'm thinking I need to take a few days off of work to clean it out. That's going to be quite a project. So that's your first task for the month. On the 9th, don't worry, I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of tasks throughout the month, but on the 9th, Mercury enters the sign of Leo. This is in the 10th house. You have so much action happening in your 10th house. This is your career, your reputation. You could have possible job opportunities. And then we have Jupiter here, which is just going to bring abundance to your career and reputation, maybe a possible raise in the books. Right now, you are really bright and shiny. You're a bright, shiny star in the house of career, and people are turning to you. You are clever, and you are a problem solver. And Leo is ruled by the sun, and this is your house of Leo. So again, a very good positive. Like, you just have everything working out for you in these houses. I have no complaints about your August, Scorpio, so I hope you don't either. Let's move on to the 11th. Mars enters the sign of Cancer. Now, Mars brings energy to any house it goes. However, Mars is not as comfortable in the sign of Cancer because Mars is the warrior, the bodyguard, and Cancer is the mother and the nurturer. So you see how those two don't really mesh. Mars doesn't know what to do with all the gushy feelings. And this is happening in your 9th house of wisdom, goals, direction, travel, legal matters. So this maybe is a time for you to fight for what you believe in. That's what Mars wants you to do. Stand up for something in this house. And Mars brings the energy. So put this energy to good use. This could even be good for a new course of study, a good time to really persevere through things, anything that falls into those ninth house things that I talked about. All right, on the 12th, this is fun. We have a new moon in Leo paired with a solar eclipse. Again, happening in your 10th house. And wait till you see this is all going to come full circle. This is very significant for your career, for your entire life direction. Okay, this transit can bring new beginnings and it will unfold over the next 18 months. So fated events could occur, and these fated events will propel you down a new path. Okay, something new is going to come across, something's going to open your eyes here in your 10th house of career and public reputation, your achievements, and your long-term ambitions. Now, the Leo eclipse can bring a promotion, a leadership opportunity. Maybe you are starting a new career or a business. It's a good time for that. Okay, again, this is August 12th. You will have greater visibility of your talents. You will receive recognition of your talents, or maybe just a decision to pursue a new path. So Leo here asks, how can I shine? Leo wants you to shine, so stop hiding your gifts. You might not change a job, but maybe you're just changing your purpose for a more meaningful work. Maybe it's time for you to step into the authority figure and take the lead. So the 10th house can also represent your mentors, your bosses, or it could even be your parents if you have authoritative parents. Any relationship with authority may shift. Okay, someone important may open a door for you. So be aware, open your eyes to what's going on in this career and reputation house, because Leo, ruled by the sun, can also give you creativity. It's going to give you confidence and courage. So embrace the visibility and don't hide your gifts. Now, the 10th house sits opposite the 4th house, and I'm going to revisit this as well. It's a total axis, so it's all about finding this balance. So 4th house is home, 10th is career. So you may need to balance some family responsibilities during this time, or your home life, your career ambitions. So it seems to me like your career is going to be taking off, that you may end up putting home on the back burner. So with Mercury and Jupiter also in this house, your Leo, your 10th house, you may have important career conversations, signing contracts, teaching, speaking, writing, just a lot of optimism and growth professionally. So I want you to think about, Scorpios. What would you pursue if you believed you could succeed? Is that the same thing you're doing, or is it a long lost dream you've had? So stepping into a more visible role with your work can help you claim your authority. It's allowing you to be seen. Okay, so answer these opportunities that call you into leadership. I think that might be your destiny here. On the 15th, we have another transit. Mercury conjoins Jupiter in Leo, and I talked a little bit about this already. It's just going to bring a more positive influence to all of these things in the 10th house, right? Mercury is information. Mercury is technology. You're going to become a good user of it, maybe something innovative, and Jupiter brings the abundance. On the 19th, we have the nodes. All right. I follow the me nodes. I am a tropical whole sign traditional astrologer, and most traditional astrologers do follow the mean nodes. So I have them changing signs on August 19th. So the south node moves into Leo, and the 10th node moves into your fourth house, Aquarius. Remember, I talked about this. This is going to be that balance between home life, your private life, and your public life. So your work-life balance, that's going to unfold over the next 18 months while these nodes stay in this sign. The south node wants you to release, and the north node shows you where you need to grow. So for the south node, you may need to let go of habits or an identity that no longer is serving you. Maybe your identity became overly tied to your career or your status or your external recognition. So quite possibly, maybe you need to let go that need for approval or for completing your long-term business goals. I see this as like a pressure cooker, right? If you ever canned something and you've used a big pressure cooker, you got to release the steam here. And everything I've said up to this point, I know was all about move, gains in the career. So you have all of this momentum going in your career. And then these nodes are switching signs and they're kind of like pressing the brakes here and just saying, hold on and look at what you have. Don't overwhelm yourself. You got to release some pressure. So don't forget about your family as your career is taking off, right? They're the ones that love you. They're the ones that are always going to be there for you. So make sure, even with all of this stuff with the career, will help you build a stable home life. Make sure you deepen those family relationships and you're creating emotional security for your family. Maybe even some healing around family patterns. We've got this happening in the sign of Aquarius, which brings a different flavor, right, than Leo. So Aquarius is more innovative, creating. So maybe you're creating a home that reflects your individuality, or maybe you just have to embrace different living situations. Who knows? Maybe you need a parent to move in with you, or you need to move back in with a parent, or you need to move in with someone to save up some money. Something along those lines. Maybe you're just getting a new home. So during this cycle, we've got a change in career priorities because a light is being shined on your home private life that you're going to have to deal with. So this increased focus on the home, like I said, could be a move, a renovation, or just spending more time with loved ones. Let's see. The moon can also represent the mother. The sun can represent the father. So I'm just looking where they are to see if there's a health impact there. I'm not seeing one, but like I said, based on your natal chart, that certainly could happen. With the solar eclipse here, it amplifies this energy even more. So it can help you feel more rooted in your home life. So I want you to think back. The last time these signs were in Leo and Aquarius was 2008 and 2009. So what were you doing in 2008, 2009? Were you switching careers? Were you getting a new job? What was different with your home life? Maybe you were having children or getting married. So drop me a line in the comments. What was going on in 2008, 2009? Because it's going to be a similar feel, not exactly because other planets are in different places. Like I said, with Jupiter and Mercury in the 10th, that's a really helpful, positive transit. I don't see much negative here. So on the 23rd, the sun enters Virgo in the 11th house. That is your friends, social groups, your communities. So during that time, let me move my little marker to the 23rd. So I want you to embrace friendships, be generous for your friends, and show up for people. This is a good transit for getting to know people and for making friends. Short and sweet, simple as that. On the 25th, we have Mercury entering Virgo again in the 11th house. This is your house of friends, future goals. That's what's going to be occupying your thoughts during this transit. So get in touch with friends, enjoy your friends. With Mercury here, it can also be good for technology skills or even improving your relationship with gadgets. Maybe you're like learning new tech with friends, or you're playing a new game with friends. Something with technology and friends could be happening around that time. On the 27th, we have this beautiful Mercury Cazimi at 4 degrees Virgo. Okay. Mercury rules Virgo, so it is very happy here. It's in your 11th house of friends and social groups. So you can expect to have a light being switched on here. Maybe it's knowing who your real friends are, who's there with you, who's going to help support you. You're going to have clarity around your goals, your purpose, your commitments. So because Mercury rules Virgo, this is going to be extra potent. It's important breakthrough energy. You could have surprises or possible disruptions. Just a real moment of clarity on your life direction. Pay attention to important conversations with colleagues and friends. You may even get an invitation to join groups or projects, or just have access to powerful ideas. Maybe you're dreaming, daydreaming, and these wonderful ideas are coming to you. Some practical insights here. Here's the caveat. We do have a square from the 8th house of shared finances, investments, and debt, trust, or intimacy. So we have Uranus over there. Let me grab my pencil so I can show you. All right, we've got Uranus over here in Gemini, and then this Cazimi. So we have a square happening, and Uranus can bring sudden news or a desire for greater freedom. So a freedom from your social group, some friends, not sure, but the square can suggest unexpected financial developments as well, or breakthroughs in therapy or research. Kind of an unconventional opportunity. So stay mentally flexible here, be open to possibilities. Your best insights will come from conversations or even unexpected news. So this unexpected news, you may not like it at first, but it will help you in the long run. Okay. It'll bring you to a more sustainable future. I tell people all the time, the universe leads us to things, and sometimes we don't like it. It doesn't feel good, but the best way to go with it is to let go and go with the flow. Because if you're trying to swim upstream, you're going to get more tired. You're going to get burned out. So you just need to go with some of the bad stuff sometimes, because it's going to lead you to your life purpose. All right, let me erase that for you, and we're going to move on to the lunar eclipse, ending the month with a spectacular lunar eclipse. I know I've told you all about this from the beginning, and I am so happy about this lunar eclipse and full moon happening in Pisces for you, because dun dun dun, it's in your 5th house. And if you know anything about astrology, when planets go through the 5th house, do you know what they say? They say, oh man, this is the best house ever. Your 5th house is where the fun comes from. So if you collect moon water, do it for this full moon in Pisces, especially if you are a Scorpio. Collect that moon water. If you've never done it, take a little mason jar, put some water in it, put it out there under the full moon. I like to write a wish, put it underneath the jar. 5th house is all about romance, children, creativity, hobbies, healthy risks. Your emotions can be heightened. You could have strong intuition. So yes, it still is a full moon. That full moon energy is going to be out there in the universe, but this is so great for you, Scorpios. You might have a creative project that reaches completion or feel inspired to express yourself, gain recognition for something you've worked on, or maybe a hobby becomes more meaningful. Pisces here, ruled by Mercury. We know Mercury is happy because he's in his sign Virgo across the way. So it's going to add imagination, spirituality, healing, um, perseverance, right? So if you're single, you might come into a relationship that may deepen or gain clarity on someone that you're interested in. If you already have a significant partner, this will only deepen your intimacy and reconnect with them through joy and affection. Go out and play, do something fun. This also has to do with children. So maybe it's not about romance for you, and maybe it's going to be about your children, and maybe they are reaching an achievement or having a celebration, or it's just a new phase in your relationship with them. All said and done, it's going to be very positive. So find ways to rediscover your joy. All right. What makes your heart come alive? I want you to do it. It's your time to let loose, unfold over the next several months, because you will see breakthroughs or endings. You're going to see unhealthy things come to an end if you have any of that in relationships. Or, like I said, a change in your role as a parent. Just balance your ambition and joy. And Scorpio, that is what I have for you for August. I hope you enjoy August as much as it looks to me. Like I said, there's a lot going on here with eclipses and heavy energy, but for you, it's looking so positive. So if you have a Scorpio you know and love, like I said, please share with them. Give me a like if you're not already subscribed. Please do, so you can always get up to date. I like to put out my content sooner than everyone else. You can always bookmark it and come back to it. Again, thank you for listening, Scorpios. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you again. Take care, everyone.